All right, so today we're going to be drawing this shape in Solid Edge. So it's going to be a little complicated, but I think we can get through it. This is kind of more for intermediate to advanced users of Solid Edge. Um, but if you're a beginner and you want to do something a little bit more advanced, then this would be a great place to start with this shape, a shape like this. So let's go ahead and, well, before I open up Solid Edge, I kind of want to go over, the like the overall shape itself. So let me open that up, and we're going to kind of take a closer look at this shape here. So the first thing I would do would be to look at this and be like, what shape kind of stands out to me the most, and it would probably be this. Where okay, I kind of ask myself, where do I want the axis to lie? The origin to be. I kind of want it to be right in the center of this circle for some reason. I think it would sit well in this circle, and we can branch off from there. So my first step would be to look at which shape kind of stands out the most, and which shape kind of is kind of like the center of the whole piece. So I'd say this circle right here that extrudes out would probably be a great place to start. You could probably start up here with this shape as well, or any other shape, but I kind of want to start with the largest shape first, the most dominant shape first. So it's going to be, and let's open up Solid Edge here. So we're going to go into a new file, and this is going to be in millimeters. So I'm going to go to ANSI metric part, and I'm going to wait till that loads. I'm going to turn on the base reference planes, kind of give it a dark layout, zoom in, and so we're going to draw that this shape here, the circle. Okay. Let me put this in another window. So let's get started. It's going to be circle, so I'm going to go ahead and lock into that front plane. F3 to lock onto the plane. I'm going to go down here to the cube, and I'm going to select the front side view, kind of get that centered here, and I'm going to draw a circle that extends out, and it's at diameter right now, and I want it to be at radius. So I mean, you could put the radius in. I mean, it's a radius of 60, so obviously diameter would be 120, but let's just go ahead and go to radius. So you're going to hit tab for radius. See how that switches to radius. And I'm going to hit 60 millimeters. It's going to be 60 millimeter radius circle. Okay. And then I'm going to, let me go back to front here. I'm going to hit I'm going to right click, and I'm going to now set, well, actually, let me set that radius later. I was going to put the inner circle in there, but we can always do that later. We can do that later because we don't need to extrude the inner circle. We don't need to make the extrude cut until later. Um, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw these guidelines in there. So I'm going to make a guideline that goes out to the right. I'm going to make a guideline that goes out to the left. Okay, to the right 80 and to the left 110. So let's go ahead and draw those guidelines. But I want to be in this mid, and am I already locked in? Let me see. I have to lock into this front mid plane here, this front base plane. Right? And what I'm going to do is just draw those guidelines. So this line is going to be what, 80? It's construction lines, excuse me, construction lines. And then this construction line, I right-clicked to restart the line. And I'm going to extend another line that goes out 110. Yeah, 110 millimeters. Enter, escape. And now and then I'm going to go up here to where it says construction. I'm going to make these two lines construction lines. It's going to automatically select both of them. And there we have these two construction lines. And I can go ahead and I guess I can extrude the circle. I'm going to do symmetric extrude. And I'm going to, because I want that origin in the center there, I'm going to, I could do this. I could extrude it this way or this way, but I kind of want that, origin to be right in the center there. See, the origin axis to be right in the center. So, because most of these shapes originate from the center. Most of the extrusions originate from the center. So, let's go ahead and extrude it by, what is it? 80 millimeters. We're going to extrude it by 80 millimeters. And let me just clean up this drawing a little bit here. Let me get rid of the base reference planes, and we're just left with this line here. And actually, I need those base reference planes back. I just need actually the front one, because that's the one we're gonna go off the most. Actually, I think that's the only plane that we're gonna go off of, is because I've already drawn this before. This is the only plane we're gonna go off of. So we're going to lock onto that plane again. And my strategy is to kind of extend off of this circle here that we've just drawn. We've drawn the exterior of it, the perimeter of it, and I guess the next step would be to just kind of branch off of it. So I'm going to draw this. I'm going to go to the left and draw this first. This circle here, the exterior of it. And then I'm going to make a tangent circle, but we don't know, the thing is we don't know how far in this line right here goes, because there's no dimension there. Okay, like from here to the center of this circle, we don't know how far that is. So the best strategy to go about would be to since we know this dimension right here, from here, and this is a crucial dimension, from here to here, to the center line of this circle, to the center line of this extrusion cut, to this face is 105 millimeters. And what I can do is you have to strategize. So I have to kind of make a line that goes from here 105 millimeters from this center line to the left, and it's going to be about here, and that goes perpendicular to that line up 150 millimeters. So actually, let's start with that first. So it's a little complicated. Yeah, a little complicated, but we'll get there. It didn't take me long to figure it out. So it's going to be from this center line. This is a center line right here of a cylinder that goes perpendicular to this one. So we're gonna go. Let's just go up, okay? Let's go up 150 millimeters. We're gonna go up 150 millimeters, and then oops. Well, let's just go ahead and make this a construction line while we're at it. Let's make this a construction line while we're at it. And then I'm going to go to the left. What happened here? So I'm going to go, and then I'm going to make a line that goes to the left, 105 millimeters. And I'm also going to make that a construction line. And so now what we can do is we're going to need a tangent circle that goes here. So we're going to make a line, not a construction line, but an actual line that goes down here, down, and it's going to be tangent to this cylinder. See that? And now we're going to make this part right here, and it's going to curve. So let's go ahead and make that tangent circle. So we're going to go to circle up here, circle by center point. We're going to drop down and we're going to select tangent circle, and the tangent circle is going to have a radius of, oh, I didn't put it on the dimension on here. I think it's a radius of 50. Let me see. It's a radius of 50. Yes, it's a radius of 50. Okay, so we're going to go here to radius. We're going to change that to 50. And we're going to select the line first, and then we're going to select the circle and until a symbol pops up. And it's going to snap to the circle, and it's going to be a tangent symbol. It's tangent. See how it's tangent? See how that symbol pops up? That means it's tangent to the circle. And it's also tangent to the line. So this circle is tangent to this circle as well as this line here. And now we're going to hit escape, and we're going to go to trim, and we're going to trim out what we don't need. So I don't need this. I don't need this down here. I don't need this up here. I don't need this. I don't need this. So what we're left with is just this part right here. We're going to need this part later for another tangent circle. So before I move on, I want to see how this is kind of cut in half here. I want to cut that circle in half. So what I'm going to need to do is let me hide that front plane. Let me hide these sketches. Let me unlock first. Unlock off that plane and then hide these sketches. I really need that base right now. So I kind of want to clean up the drawing right now, and I want to cut this in half. I want to slice this in half. So I'm going to go to. I'm going to need a plane. So I'm going to need the top plane, and I'm going to rectangle by center, lock onto that, and then just make a a big. That's a little too big there. I'm going to make a big. Oops. Let me just. It doesn't have to be that big of a plane, but I'm gonna go ahead and just use it anyway. And I'm not gonna use symmetric extent. I'm gonna use a one-sided. It's gonna be a one-sided cut. And if you use your space bar, it either adds or it cuts. So we're gonna go ahead and cut that. And now we're left with this. So moving on, let's see. Let's turn off that top plane. We're going to need that front plane again, so we're going to keep that on because we're going to keep using it. I'm going to turn the sketches back on that we need, and we're going to go ahead and the next part is we're going to moving from right to left. We're going to go ahead and make these offsets here. These offsets. That's going to be my next strategy. So it's going to be this one's easier to look at. So we're going to start from here. We're going to offset 10, then we're going to offset 20, then we're going to offset 10 again to make those lines. So I'm going to go up here and going to go offset. Going to offset this line here. And I'm going to offset it by, oh, wait a minute. Let me actually trim this part right here, that line right there. I don't need this. There we go. That's better. Now, go to offset up here, offset, and it's going to be automatic. It's going to be an offset of 10 millimeters. Hit enter, and we're going to choose this line here, enter. We're going to go to the left. So now we're going to go 20. Actually, let me trim that line. Go ahead and trim that line here because we don't need this one. Let's delete it. And then what I'm going to do is make an offset. I'm going to offset this. Oops. Hold on a second. Yeah, I don't need this one and that one and that one. I messed up there. So what I do need, hold on, because this isn't going to be right. There we go. And now, let me see if this is still correct. This dimension. So from here to here should be 150. Okay, 150. There we go. So now we're going to do an offset. We're going to offset this line 20. Hit enter. We're going to offset it to the right. to the left, I mean. Now we're going to offset this line to the left 10. Hit enter, and then we could trim out these two lines so we don't need them. And then, oh, that's right, we need to offset this. Oops. Yeah, we need to offset this line here. By 10. Delete these other lines that I don't need. Let's see. Trims. Yeah, this part's kind of tricky. So, let's see. So this, and then we're going to draw a line that goes from here. Or we could just go to extend to next. There we go. And then we're going to fillet these 2 points here, these 2 edges. We're going to fillet them, and the fillet's going to be a radius of 10. So we'll fillet that. Oops. Let me trim that first. Let me trim this line here because we don't need it. And then fillet it. Fillet this edge. Fillet it, what was it, 10? Yeah, a radius of 10. There we go. Go up here, back up here to extend to next. We're going to extend that line all the way down. And then now we can draw this circle that's right here. See how we created these lines appear. And now we want to create this tangent circle that's tangent from here, from this circle. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a cylinder here, and we're going to create a tangent circle off that cylinder, or off that circle, excuse me, circle. So we're going to make circle here, 40, what is it, 40? Diameter of 40. Oops. I don't know why it was so low. Did I accidentally hit another 0 or something? Because that circle was huge. And now we're going to go back up here to, where is it, tangent circle, and it's going to be a radius of 25, right? And then we're going to select this circle first, this line first, and it creates a circle. And then we need it to be tangent off of this circle. There. Now I'm going to trim what I don't need. I don't need this line here. And I don't need this line here. And let me go ahead and hide. Oops. I didn't mean to do that. And I'm going to close out this shape so that we can extrude it later. So it has to be a closed shape here. Right click. There. And then when it turns that teal color, the interior of it turns teal, then that means we can go in and extrude it. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to extrude the cylinder first. The cylinder in the back, I'm going to extrude that first. This one back here. I'm going to extrude it by 70. and it's going to be symmetric extrude, symmetric additive extrude. So it's going to be 70. And then I lost this part of the circle, so I'm going to have to go in and make that again. Trim what I don't need. There, see how it's teal again? That means I can extrude it. Symmetric extrude. Make sure it's additive. Don't, if it's like this, that means if it's see-through, that means it's not an additive extrude, it's a cut. So with no geometry, right? That's why that exclamation point's showing up, because there's no geometry there. You want it to be an additive one, so hit the space bar until it's a solid, and then you want to go to what is it? 56 millimeters. Okay, there we go, and this is what we have so far. So we're almost there. We just need to make a few more. I want to leave that one on, the top one, right? No, not top, the front, because we're going to use it again. But we're getting there. We're getting there. The tough part's pretty much done. The tough part was just this part up here. It took me a while to figure that out at first, because I've already done this drawing, so I kind of already know what to do. All right. So now let's make this part next. This part right here. So it's going to be this shape that extends out to the right. So we're going to lock onto that plane. We're going to go to the top view. Actually, that's not the plane that I want. I want the bottom plane, don't I? Like I want this bottom plane, and then we're just going to extrude upward. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select the top. Going to go to this point right here, and I'm going to make a circle. Okay, from that point, and it's going to be a diameter of 16. And then we're going to make, this is kind of a complicated part. We're going to make a symmetric line that in order for this to work, I have to go into the shape a bit. So, like maybe about here. And then I'm going to make a symmetric line that extends from a midpoint with a length of 50. Total length of 50. Then I'm going to go up. Well, actually, it's going to be from this point up 20 millimeters. Right click, and I'm going to make this a construction line because I don't want it to be part of the geometry. I'm going to snap these two, and I'm going to snap this line to that line. I'm going to make a square like that, see? Up here. So we're making this right here. It's going to have two fillets on the outer edges with a radius of 10. So I'm going to go to fillet, radius of 10, enter, 10 millimeters. I'm going to select that edge. I'm going to select that edge. I'm going to hit enter if I need. Well, I don't need to hit enter. Escape is what I need to hit. Escape. And then I'm going to extrude this up. I'm going to hit spacebar, of course. I'm going to screw this up. Oh, that's right. I have to select the whole thing. So I'm going to hit extrude, and I'm going to go to chain. What chain does is it selects the entire line that connects. So this line connects to that line, connects to this line. It's a chain of lines. So it's gonna select all those lines, and I'm going to extrude up. What is it? 20 millimeters. Okay. And now I'm going to hit escape. I'm going to make this cut here and this cut. I'm going to go to extrude, spacebar, and I'm just going to make that cut there. Let me go ahead and go to settings. I'm going to change the arc smoothness to 10, so it's not all choppy. The graphics aren't all choppy. The graphics are a little bit smoother with that setting on. Okay. Hide the sketches. We're still going to need that base reference plane, okay? So keep that on. I'm going to turn off the PMI, that little PMI down there. Going to clean up the drawing a little bit as we go, because you don't want like stuff all over the place. Because if I left all these on, like if I left the PMI on, see how it's cluttered with dimensions, three-dimensional dimensions, and if I leave the sketches on and I leave the base reference planes on, it's like it just gets a little too cluttered. See how cluttered it is? So what I like to do is as I go along, I like to turn off, stuff when I need to, because it's much easier to deal with. You kind of see the drawing better as you go along. So I'll just keep that in mind. I'm going to go ahead and do these quick cuts here. What is this? This is going to be a diameter of 20. This one is going to be a diameter of, let me go to the front. Oops, did I lock onto the wrong? There we go. This is going to be a diameter of, or a radius of 50. Oh, wait a minute. I messed up there. A radius of 50. Okay. I'm going to select these two circles. I'm going to do a cut. Spacebar. And just cut it out. Cut it out. Okay. Now the top part is a little tricky because, what you have to do now is create this cylinder up here. And what I need to do is, in order to get this cylinder to be in the center of these two planes, I need to create a mid-plane between, oops, I didn't mean to hide that. I have to drag it. So I have to create a mid-plane, go up here to more planes, mid, and I'm going to create a plane from here to here. It's going to create a plane in the center. See that? How it creates a plane in the center? Let me turn the front plane on again, because we're going to need that again. And now, let me make this a little bit, let me resize it, kind of make it a little bit bigger so you can see it. There we go. So that we can see it. Now, I can make a cylinder, lock onto that one, in the center of this, in between these two planes. So let me go to the right. It's going to be 28. See how it's in the center now? And then all we have to do is extrude it. Symmetric extrude. Oops. For some reason it doesn't want to. Oh, there we go. Okay. It's going to be 60 millimeters. Okay. Now we can go ahead and cut a hole in here, but we don't want to do that just yet because you want to kind of think ahead. It's kind of like chess. You want to think ahead and form some kind of strategy here. Let me clean up the drawing a little bit. Turn off the reference planes. Keep this plane on because we're going to need that in order to create this up here. Oops, I did it again. Oops, I did it again. So now we're going to create a reference plane from here and there. It's going to create one in the center. Actually, we didn't even need to do that because that's why we have this one on, right? Okay, so all we need to do is, select circle by center point. We're going to log onto that front plane, that base front plane. So F3, and we're going to go to front view, and we're going to go, actually, let me go to line first because I need to make a line that goes up from here up, and it's going to be, what, 40? 40 millimeters. We're going to turn that into a construction line so it doesn't mess with the geometry. And then we're going to create a circle by center point here, and it's going to be what? 15 in diameter. Okay. And then we're going to make another circle. And there's a radius of 15. Okay. And then we're gonna like we did down at with the cylinder at the bottom. We're gonna kind of dig into the shape a little bit, like maybe about here. Otherwise, you're gonna get a warning, and it won't work. Trim what we don't need. Now I'm gonna extrude this. Do a symmetric extrude. It's in cut right now, so you want to go to add. And we're going to do an additive extrude of about 35, is that right? 35. Doesn't look right. Yeah, I guess it is right. And now we're going to make an incision. Sound like a surgeon or like a doctor or something. We're going to make an incision from here, and it's going to be symmetric. It's going to be, how wide is it going to be? 5. And you're going to go up. Doesn't matter how far up you go. You're going to snap to this point there, and you're going to extrude. Let me go to extrude. Extrude chain. You're going to select these lines, and you're going to make a cut through the entire object like that. Okay. Now you're going to make a circle here. What is it? That's like, I think, a small one. I think it's going to be like a radius of 10. Okay. You're going to want to extrude that, make a cut through the whole shape. Doesn't matter how far out you go. Okay. And until we have something like that. And it's about done. Thank God. Okay, now I'm going to clean up the drawing a bit. I'm going to turn off the base reference planes. I'm going to turn off PMI, sketches, until we have something like that. right? Cool, huh? All right, so much for my first drawing tutorial. This concludes my first drawing tutorial. Let's see. Let's add some color to this thing. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go to View, Part Painter, hit yes, and kind of mess around with the. Oh, that's shiny, very shiny, gold. Kind of choose which color you want. I went with which was it? Which one did I go with? I think I went with cyan. I thought that looked kind of cool. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Well, thank you for watching my tutorial. And the next step would be to, create something like this. Would be to dimension it out. But yeah, thank you for watching.